Hey, come here. Not that close. Back up. Further. Further. Are you watching Through the Wire? Turn on channel 3. You better be. Or I'm gonna come over your house and break off your fingernails. Then bring my Stevie too. You better watch Through the Wire. Hey, get out of my shot.
Good evening, and tonight's top story. Legendary children's show host Uncle Mark was arrested this morning at the Funtime Video Store for public exposure. A press conference was held at the Melrose Police Station, and our MMTV video cameras were there.
Uncle Mark, I have one question. Uncle Mark, are the allegations true?
Absolutely not. I am completely innocent of all charges. Although my lawyer has suggested that I plead guilty to a lesser charge in order to avoid a lengthy trial and bad publicity.
Officer Al, what is Uncle Mark charged with?
Uncle Mark is charged with 1 count of excessive flagration on private property, 2 counts of malicious loitering, and 1 count of intent to discharge.
Uncle Mark, is there any truth to the rumor that you and your sidekick Bobo had a falling out and that you've fallen off the wagon?
Absolutely not. In fact, Bobo called me just a half an hour ago to lend support. And although it is true that I had a slight drinking problem, the media has blown it completely out of proportion.
Officer Al, when will Uncle Mark be arraigned?
Well, if it were up to me, I'd string this pervert up from the nearest lamppost on Main Street. But to answer your question, tomorrow, I think.
Uncle Mark, what do you suppose your younger fans will think?
I think my younger fans will see this for what it really is. A high-tech lynching! And let me just say that I am completely innocent of all charges.
Officer Al, is it known which video Uncle Mark was watching at the time of the alleged incident?
Yes, it is. The Little Mermaid.
I liked it.
Uncle Mark, do you think this will have any effect on your program?
Absolutely not. In fact, I just spoke with the president of MMTV, and he told me that as far as he was concerned, I had a job for life. And let me just say that I am completely innocent of all charges. I have a perfect driving record, too.
In a related story, the president of MMTV held a press conference earlier this afternoon.
Before anybody makes the suggestion that we're doing this because of bad publicity, I would just like to say that we have long wanted to release Uncle Mark from his contract. Not because of the upcoming trial, not because of his arrest, but because he's an unreliable, paranoid booze hound. We have long felt that Bobo, Uncle Mark's co-host, is multi-talented and deserves his own show. It'll be airing next month, and we think children of all ages will love it. If you have any questions, my only answer is no comment. Thank you and good night.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Mike
McLaughlin. He's my brother.
She's my sister. And we're the newest cast members on Through the Wire.
And we'll be adding some much-needed humor to the show.
Cut! It's just not working. Look, Mike, I'm afraid we're going to have to recast you.
Recast me?
Yeah, you just don't fit the demographic for the target audience that we're going for. We need somebody a little more hip.
Hip?
Chad, come here. Chad, you're going to be playing Mike in this commercial. Do you know his lines?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Mike. All right, we're still rolling.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Mike McLaughlin. And we're the newest cast members on Through the Wire.
And we'll be adding some much-needed humor to the show.
So stay tuned.
Perfect. That's a wrap.
Hey kids, it's your favorite friend Bobo. Uncle Mark's not here because he's taking a magical trip to a faraway place called the Slammer. And he probably won't be back for a long time. But we're going to have lots of fun without him. We've got cartoons and surprise guests for you too. Speaking of guests, here's one now. Cynthia Martin from the ASPCA, that's the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Cynthia's going to tell us how to take care of our pets. And she's even brought a friend named Rex. Hey, Rex, how's it going, buddy? What do you got to say for yourself? Hey, Rex, well, what the hell is this? Get this dog off of me! I don't have to take this. Get him off! Get him off of me!
You've loved him on the Mayor's Connection. You've thrilled to him at the meetings of the Board of Aldermen. Now see him in the greatest role of his career. Mayor Lyons is Annie.
The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away.
Mayor Richard Lyons is Annie for 2 weeks only at Memorial Hall. Tickets available now. Don't miss out. You'll believe a 45-year-old man is a 12-year-old girl. Limited seating available. Order now.
As you know, our last advertising campaign was less than successful. In fact, you could call it a complete disaster. We spent $10,000 on a song that nobody likes, and we bought 5,000 t-shirts that say, Melrose, we don't suck on them.
Did we sell any of those?
We sold a total of 9. Mayor Lyons and the Board of Aldermen all bought one. We tried donating the rest to charity, but they didn't want it. So now we have to come up with another advertising campaign using the remainder of our budget.
So how much have we got on the till?
We have a total of $11.16. But you know, I think we can do it. Because I believe that people want to come to Melrose. We just have to convince them.
I have a great idea. Why don't we invite Michael Jackson to play at the Victorian Fair? He can play with the kids, you know? They'd love it.
You came up with Melrose We Don't Suck, didn't you?
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Well, it was blunt, darling.
Look, we've only got $11.16. We can't do anything extravagant. But I know some local musicians. They work really cheap. And I think we can get one more song. But this time, we can't offend anybody. Now, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Saints preserve us. Another disaster.
Please come to Melrose. We like you a lot. And we need your money. 'Cause our budget shot. Come back to our Melrose. It's clean and it's fun. And we're really bankrupt. We're under the gun. So please come to Melrose. We're counting on you to spend lots of money. 'Cause if you don't, we're through. Oh, please come to Melrose. Through the parks and the trees. We don't want City Hall. So to the Japanese. We don't want City Hall. So to the Japanese.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Michaels, your regular doctor, Dr. Reynolds, who's unable to be here tonight, so he asked me to sit in for him. Now, I have to admit I've never actually led a sensitivity group, so I'm a little uncertain as to where to begin.
We just go around the circle talking about the various sensitive acts we've committed, and Dr. Reynolds gives us his comments.
Okay, would you care to begin?
Well, all right. The other day I saw this guy in a wheelchair, and I thought, look at that poor crippled guy. And instead of saying crippled, or thinking crippled, I should have thought vertically challenged, you know? And it was bad enough just thinking of it.
Doc, you okay?
Yeah, I have a sinus condition. I think the important thing is that you recognized your insensitivity for what it is, and that's a very good start. Would you care to go next?
Just the other night, I was in the kitchen and I saw a cockroach and he like scurried across the floor. And I know I should have, trapped it, and put it away, but instead I smashed it. Like,
Doc? You okay?
Yeah, I have a cold.
Cold? I think you're laughing at all of us.
Hey.
No, I'm not.
I think so.
All right, look. I think you're taking this sensitivity thing a little too far. I mean, it's not like you went up to the guy and said, "Hey, you're crippled." And I mean, it's not like you stepped on something important. It was just a bug, all right? It's just a bug. Well, I hope you all realize what I was doing just then. I was employing certain role-playing techniques that we use in the psychology business in order to show you just how unpleasant your insensitivities actually are, thereby allowing you to see the unpleasantness firsthand.
Doctor, you're a genius. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Thanks,
Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Losers. Good evening. I'm Michael Morton. My guest tonight is perhaps the most hated woman ever. Lizzie Borden, Lucretia Borgia, Hillary Clinton. No, my guest puts all of those women to shame. In fact, her very name strikes fear in the hearts of all men. My guest tonight is Lorena Bobbitt. Lorena, let me first ask you, why did you emasculate your ex-husband, Billy Joe Bob, or whatever the hell his name is?
Well, first, let me tell you this. I am a victim here. My husband, he mistreated me.
Okay, let's take a call. You're on with Mike and Lorena.
Mike?
Yes.
Hi, I got two questions for you, Lorena. Lorena, first of all, do you think you'll ever get another date? And secondly...
Yes, I believe I will.
Lorena, please, don't cut the man off.
I was just answering his question.
Oh, now don't get snippy with me.
Now let me tell you something, you pompous little sissy.
Oh, no, that's a little below the belt.
Hey, I will tell you, you are not even half the man that my husband is.
Well, when we come back, we'll be discussing the new trends in women's fashions. Stay tuned. Good evening, I'm Robert Slack. Welcome to another installment of Melrose's Unsolved Mysteries. Once again, we'll be delving into the unsolved case files of the Melrose Police Department. But first, a correction on a previous story. Recently, we ran a segment on serial killers, and we showed you this photograph, which we identified as that of convicted serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. It wasn't until several viewers called in to say that Dahmer was loose in the city of Melrose that we realized that we had made a mistake. The individual in the photograph is actually Melrose's own Mayor Richard Lyons. Jeffrey Dahmer is currently serving 12 consecutive life sentences in a federal penitentiary and is not loose in the city of Melrose. We would, however, like to commend the bravery of one elderly woman who tackled Mayor Lyons in Melrose Square and held him until the local police could come and explain the mix-up. Now tonight's story. Recently, Melrose has been plagued by a rash of burglaries. Up until now, the police have not had a clue as to the identity of the burglar. However, thanks to matching fingerprints at 2 of the crime scenes, the police tell us that they are looking for this man. Warren Zablonsky, 3-time convicted burglar. Zablonsky is considered mentally deranged and extremely dangerous. Do not attempt to apprehend him yourself. If you see him, please call us here at Melrose's Unsolved Mysteries. Next week, we'll be trying to figure out who stole a box of honey glazed donuts from the Melrose Police Department squad room. Until then, good night. Hey kids, where do you go? You want to have fun, you search high and low. Hey kids, what do you know? It's time for the Uncle Mark Show. And Bobo. That's right, and Bobo. Hi kids, it's your old pal Uncle Mark, back from an all-expenses-paid vacation on the state of Massachusetts. And you know my sidekick Bobo. Say hi to the kids, Bobo.
Hi, kids.
I'll bet you didn't expect to see your old Uncle Mark back so soon, did you?
That's right, Uncle Mark.
But the ratings were in the toilet, weren't they?
That's right, Uncle Mark.
Now, who would have ever guessed that, psychologically speaking, children between the ages of 4 and 7 would be frightened of a disembodied hand puppet? But they were, weren't they, Bobo?
That's right, Uncle Mark.
Now, kids, today Uncle Mark wants to teach you a new word. It's actually a phrase, and I think it's Latin. Nolo contendere. Now, that means no contest. And basically, that's what the prosecuting attorney had to tell the judge when it was discovered that Uncle Mark hadn't been read his rights when he was arrested. It's pretty much also what the president of MMTV had to say to Uncle Mark when Uncle Mark threatened to sue him for violating the terms of his contract. So now it's Uncle Mark's favorite word. Why don't you say it for me, Bobo?
I don't think so.
Say it.
No, contender.
See? Bobo can be smart when he wants to. And I'd like to thank Bobo for filling in for me while I was temporarily on vacation. And don't think I'll forget it. Well, kids, normally I'd stick around and sing you a song or play some cartoons for you, but I have to leave very shortly because I have a meeting with my old pal, Mr. Rosencrantz. He's my lawyer, and he wants to punish all of the bad people who illegally incarcerated your old Uncle Mark. So, goodbye for now.
Oh, please come to Melrose. We like you a lot. And we need your money, 'cause our budget's short. Come back to old Melrose. It's clean and it's fun. And we're nearly bankrupt. We under the gun. So please come to Melrose. We counting on you to spend lots of money. 'Cause if you don't, we're through.
No problem.
Oh, please come to Melrose for the parks and the trees. We don't want city hall sold to the Japanese.